Welcome to the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by Shekina community members. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com. Hi, this is Ray. It is episode 67 of the podcast. It's Thursday, the 5th of March, as I record this special episode. We at Shekina Garden are on break, and we are scattered around the world right now. So our next 6 podcasts, or these 6 podcasts while we're on break, will be slightly different with shorter intros, but the same guided meditation as usual. All of these meditations were recorded while we were at Shambhala festival in northern Thailand, and we had the privilege of being able to guide meditation there each day. So all of them are on location with a group of travelers, and maybe interesting sounds in the background, who knows? I hope you enjoy. Listeners, this podcast is supported by you. Because this podcast is about meditation, we want to keep it ad-free. Our beloved patrons at patreon.com support us for as little as $1 a month. And patrons get things like extra audio and also just the chance to know that they are supporting communities that exist to offer things like Christ-centered meditation to the world. You can find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast, and that link will be in the show notes. Another way that you can support us is by rating or reviewing us on iTunes. You can also email the podcast to a friend, or you can tell the world. You can, post anywhere that you use social media. You can post and tell people what you're listening to and recommend it to people you think might like it. Supporting the podcast helps to keep Shekina communities running and free for travelers and spiritual seekers, and helps us know that you appreciate what we're doing in putting this podcast into the world. Patrons, you are the best. You are as kind as a cloud that blocks the sun on a scorching hot day, and that is a very kind thing indeed. Today's episode is Contemplation of Nature, guided by Chinua at Shambhala festival in northern Thailand. For this meditation, you will need to find some object or aspect of nature, something that you can see and, keep your eyes on as you're doing this, something you can think about, like gravity or the wind, or something that you can hold in your hand, like a stone or a feather or a rock or a flower, any of those kinds of things. You just need something that you can think about while you're doing the meditation. So first, Chinua will guide you through some exercises to help you find quiet in your mind. Then he will lead you with some questions about your object, and there will be lots of space and silence in this meditation. The third part is all about your own processing. So this is a good one for drawing if you feel like doing that because you're using an object of nature, or you can journal. It's a very excellent practice to have a talking circle and hear from one another if you're in a group. And we encourage you to really listen well, to pass some sort of talking object, and to, just listen without interruption to one another. Let's begin.
You start off by getting into a comfortable position, somewhere you feel that you can hold. For some people, having a posture that they know, maybe seated with their legs folded. It's a strong position. You can hold it for a long time. If you can't hold that position, it's okay.
I lie down?
Of course. If you want to lie down, that's okay. Special awareness when you lie down, sometimes that puts you towards sleep. But of course, if you want to just sleep during this workshop, then have a nice nap. It's okay. You will not be judged unless you snore. Start off with some deep and clearing breaths. not just with power and strength, but with fullness. Fill yourself completely. And then release. A couple more times, and then relax and breathe comfortably. For these first few moments, try to breathe out about twice as long as you breathe in. So if you breathe in for 3 beats, then breathe out for 6 beats. If it's hard to do or causes any distress, just breathe as you feel. Just follow the path of your breath with your mind's eye. Feel it in the back of your nostrils, in your nasal cavity, down past your throat. Feel it past your heart, all the way down, deep down into your pelvis. You can breathe into any part of your body, and as the breath touches it, just allow it to release tension. Every time you breathe out, you're more connected to the ground, more solid, more at peace. The silence that we want to explore today is our own silence. If you open your ears, you can hear so many sounds. Sounds that are close enough to touch. Sounds that are far away. The sounds of voices of animals, the human animal, industry, play, music, the songs of birds. As we sit silently, these sounds will be with us. You won't need to block them out. Just allow them to be. They even have the power to spark your imagination and take you on a journey. In this type of meditation, that's allowed. The sounds are temporary. We're the thing that remains when the sound is gone. Just keep listening, keep allowing. As we sit in silence and breathe and listen, Take note of your stream of thoughts. You might find that you're very connected to the moment, wondering about what we're doing, what's going to happen. Your mind might be in the past. It might be in the future. In this moment, we're not going to judge or change our thoughts in any way. There's nothing to control. In these moments, as we breathe and listen, we're just going to observe our thoughts. It's like a stream that passes through the space of your mind. Just take note of what it's like. Is it quiet and small? Is it loud and changing? We simply allow it to be and watch. Take a moment to expand your awareness to the other people, beings in this circle. In our silence, we're not alone. In that space of the heart, your truest self, your innermost self. Let's also expand our awareness to the divine, that which is beyond us. We are not alone. Your welcome might take the form of a prayer, inner words. It might be a position of openness as you feel yourself opening and saying welcome. Let's open ourselves to the Spirit of God. And say welcome. As we explore nature and ask ourselves questions, let's get in touch with our inner, the younger self, the mind and heart you were. When you explored things and you tasted and you touched and you learned, and there was wonder. Let this be a playful space. You can move between seriousness and adultness and just play an exploration. Today, as you choose one part of nature, we're going to explore that thing, use our senses, get in touch with it. We're going to ask 6 simple questions. You may find that the questions help you to explore, bring up new ideas, and take you on journeys. Just listen for the words that resonate with you. There's no wrong way to answer the questions. There's no wrong way to be in this space. Just feel the freedom to be yourself. In a moment, I'll have you stand up. We're going to all go find some part of nature. It can be something that you can hold in your hands, like a stone. It can be something you hold with your mind, like a mountaintop, or the feel of the wind. Just some aspect of nature. After a short time, we'll return to this space. We'll know we're ready to start our silence with questions when we're all seated here again. So feel free to get up and find something now. So we're going to spend the next few moments asking some very simple questions. After each question, there'll be about 5 minutes of silence. You might find sitting in silence very easy. And some people find it a challenge. There's no requirement to stay focused or to think about any specific thing. Let it be a space where you can explore. You might find that your focus goes in and out. That movement and in and out of focus is what meditation is. That's okay. If you find the questions helpful, then you can use them. If they don't seem relevant to your movements of thoughts, just let them go. Form your own questions. So whether you chose something you can hold in your hand or something you hold in your mind, just take this moment to explore that thing. Touch it with your imagination, with your hands. Listen to the sound of it. Feel it. Just be like a child. Just be in touch with your emotional self. How does it make you feel? Does it bring memories? And our questions are going to be concepts of self and God, You may bring your own vision and understanding of what and who God is, and what and who self is. If you're not settled in anything, for just these moments of this meditation, just allow God to be that which is divine, but also that transcends us, was before. Ask yourself, how am I connected to this aspect of nature? In what ways do we connect? And next, let's ask ourselves, how am I the same as this piece of nature, this one aspect? How are we the same? Thirdly, let's ask ourselves, how am I different from this aspect of nature? In what ways are we not the same? And now let's ask ourselves, how does this aspect of nature, this one piece, connect to God? How is it connected to God? And let's ask ourselves, how is this one fragment, piece of nature, the same as God? And finally, let's ask ourselves, how is this one aspect of nature different from, not the same as God? Take a moment to return to your breathing. Take a couple of clearing breaths. We're slowly going to transition to our talking circle. We'll begin when everyone is seated with their eyes open.
Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation available each week, so don't forget to subscribe to iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Also, you can rate or review on iTunes or sign up as a patron at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Have a beautiful week. Many blessings to you.